Hey guys, what's going on? It is Grayson Parker from Comics Family, and this is our first podcast that we are doing today of many more to come. So, I thought we would start it out with comics in general, man. Comic movies more specifically. I put a poll up on the Instagram, which you can find at Comics Family. COMIX Family. No spaces, no caps. And 90% of you asked for movies, current movies, and 10% of you asked for just kind of everything in general. So right now we're going to be focusing on movies. That includes Infinity War, Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, which just dropped, some movie news, and some more stuff. So first of all, we're going to get in right away with Infinity War, because that comes out this Friday, which is crazy. You know, we've been waiting 10 years for this, and it is finally coming this Friday. I cannot tell you how excited I am. So first, I'm going to tell you who I think is going to die and who I think is good. I think that Black Panther is definitely good. He has now the highest grossing superhero movie of all time. That is Marvel's cash cow at the moment, and they are definitely not going to kill him off. I think Spider-Man is good. He has a 6-movie contract, and he's only been in 2. I think Iron Man's going to be fine. I think Iron Man will be fine. I think Cap's going to take the fall on this one. I think Winter Soldier will be fine. I think he's going to... I don't know if he's going to become the next Captain America. I think maybe in the next one he's going to do... I think in the next one he might do the whole White Wolf thing in Wakanda. But yeah, I think he's safe. I think that Scarlet Witch will be fine. I don't know why. I just kind of feel like she's too minor to kill off. I think Thor will be fine in this one at least. I think that... so I think those people will be good. We haven't even seen Hawkeye in a trailer, so I can't really say too much on him. I want to say he's fine, but who really knows? And then who I think is going to take a L, who I think is going to bite the dust and die. I think Cap's dying. I think Cap is going to die because as far as I know, and I could be wrong with this, his movie contract is up. Like, it's done. Like, this is his last movie, and that could be wrong, but that is just what I've heard and from what I've seen. Plus, I think it's more, honestly, artistic for him to die in this one. Like, take the sacrifice for the team. The I can do this all day line, and, just takes it, man. And, so I think he's gone. I think Loki is definitely gone. I think he's dying in this movie without a doubt. I think Gamora's sister is gone. I don't know if Gamora's gone. Maybe not. That might give some really good character motivation for Star-Lord. But who really knows? Speaking of, completely left them off the safe list. I think Star-Lord's going to be fine, and I think Rocket will be fine. I do think Drax is going to die. I feel like he's going to have, that last, just anger, I'm Drax, and go after Thanos, but still I think he's going to take an L. I think he's going to die. So yeah, if I left anybody off, I'm sorry. That's all. I'm pretty sure I'm thinking of everybody at the moment. I think all of T'Challa's army, of course, is safe. I think they're going to be fine. They've got to be in the next one. I think, Vision's dead. Vision's dead. He's got the Soul Stone in his head. Or not the Soul Stone. I think it is the Soul Stone. I might be wrong on that. But he's got the stone in his head, which makes him survive. So I think he's dying unless they use some, fancy Wakanda technology to bring him back. I think he's gone. So yeah, that is my dead and alive list. So what I want to see from the movie is I want to see some, I don't want to say I want to see them do a DC movie, but I want to see a darker MCU, because for me personally, and this is not me hating on the MCU, I love a lot of the MCU stuff, I feel like every MCU movie is the same. It has the same tone, it has the same feel. You've got your exceptions, the Civil Wars, the Winter Soldiers, the Iron Man ones, Incredible Hulk. I mean, you got your exceptions, but throughout, they all kind of feel the same to me. And so I want a, climactic, this is the end, no joking around, this is literally our world, so there is no time for jokes. But of course it's Marvel, so you're going to have your little quips here and there, which is fine, but I don't want that to be the overwhelming just, oh, we've got to sink this joke in like they have been in previous movies. I really hope they take this seriously, which I think they will do, and just make this what we've been waiting for. I want to see more from Winter Soldier. I feel like this is going to be, he kind of had basically his own movie in Winter Soldier, but I feel like this is going to be his breakout movie. Only reason I say that is I think, like I said, I think Captain America is going to die. I think that's going to be a lot of motivation for him. I think we need to see some more character development with him, because so far, give or take, he's kind of been the same guy, just in and out of the Russian serial killer assassin versus just Bucky. And I think we need to kind of pull away from that and kind of have him be his own thing, and the character they want him to be for the rest of however long they're going to use him. I don't want to see White Wolf yet. I don't want to see him as White Wolf yet. I want to see him as the Winter Soldier in this movie. You can have a little tease at the end, but I don't want to see him as a White Wolf until the second movie. I think that's the way you kind of have to do it, but that's just me. I want to see a fight between Captain America and Thanos, which from the trailer we already know we're getting, but I don't want it to be Thanos just squashes him. I want there to be like a kind of Thanos maybe plays with him for a little bit. We see this last valiant effort from Cap that sends him over the edge finally, and it gets him killed. Like, that's what I want, and I think that's what would be best. I want to see a good Spider-Man. I am the rarity that does not like Tom Holland's portrayal of Spider-Man. I feel that he's almost too needy. Like, if you watch Homecoming, he's constantly texting, and like, in reality, like, let's be honest, for those of you who are teenagers or who are out of high school or have been in that, who have obviously been in that time of your life, you know that, like, with the exception of maybe a situation here or there, you're not going to just blow a guy's phone up for months. Eventually you're going to be like, you know what, maybe it's just not going to work. And then common sense would tell you, okay, if he hasn't gotten back to me in these amount of months, it's not going to be this weekend that he gets back to me. And for me, it was almost annoying. I was like, dude, just like, go do your stuff. Like, he's not going to text you. Like, if you're Spider-Man and you're as smart as you are, you need to realize that he's not going to text you back. And that was just kind of, I was just kind of like, eh. And then there were certain parts of it, I felt like he was a little bit too quippy. Like, I felt like he was trying too hard in certain spots. Which that's writing. I don't really think that's him. But as a movie overall, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the movie. There were just certain parts about him I didn't like. So in this, I want this to be okay, so this is the Spider-Man we're going to get. Because I feel like there needs to be a graduation of him. Because that was the one thing that you kind of missed out on in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, was he was already kind of older, high school, college, moving on. Like, within the first movie, within like the first, act, they're graduated. And so I think that we need to see a character graduation and just motivation and just kind of growing as a person from Tom as his Spider-Man, because I don't just want to see the quippy, oh, I'm Spider-Man, Tony Stark, oh yeah, this is so much fun. Like, that's cool for the first two movies. Alright, yeah, like, do that. But don't let that be his next however many movies they're going to have him. I want some character development of him. He's becoming a man. Like, he's growing up. He's realizing things. He's realizing how dark the world actually is. How what he does can put the people he loves in danger. And all this other stuff. So I hope maybe that's the start of Infinity War, and that's kind of where we start to get that, which would be cool. I want to see the Guardians play a severe role in this movie. I don't want to see them just kind of offcast, which I'm afraid might happen. I want to see them as a pivotal role, that they have something to do and they're not just there. Because my biggest pet peeve with Batman vs. Superman was the fact that I felt like Lois Lane was just there. For certain parts, I felt she needed to be there, but like, especially the whole thing with the spear, like, she throws it and then she's like, oh, they need it, but then she's drowning, so Superman has to go save her, and then he drowns because of the kryptonite, and so she has to go get him, and it's just this whole like, just like, guys, like, she doesn't have to be in this. She does not have to be in this right now. So I hope it's not that just, we can't have to have the Guardians in here. It's our, climactic thing we've been leading towards, so we have to keep them here, and they have to do this, that, and the other. That's why I hope Gamora dies, because not because I hate Gamora, just because I want that, Star-Lord to be like, alright, yeah, like, this is it. This is where we're going now. Which I feel like you can have, and they can do really well, because this is the Russo brothers. I mean, they have done very well with what they've done, so I think they can definitely do it. I think Rocket will be good. I think, it's Rocket. He doesn't necessarily have to have, like, that big. I was more so meaning Star-Lord when I said that, and Drax, too. I want to see Iron Man get his clock cleaned. And I mean that in the best of ways. Because when it comes down to it, I have always been the guy to say you can't compare Iron Man and Batman. Because, they're both billionaires with suits and all this stuff, but if you get down to it, them as characters and heroes, they're very different. Iron Man just kind of has a suit, and that's it. He's not really trained. If you watch in Civil War, he has to have his suit tell him how to fight. Batman has spent, 7-8 years training his body, mind, becoming experts in all these different fields, especially martial arts. So even without his suit, he can take care of business. So that's what I mean. I want Iron Man to almost be a little bit cocky, because you see in the trailer, he's like, what's his name? Thanos. So he doesn't know a whole lot about him. I want him to kind of walk up to him and be like, yeah, I'm Iron Man, and then just get beaten down. I just feel like that would be so awesome. And I just think that would be just kind of like the comedy relief that is in there, but it's not really comedy relief. It's kind of like, Thanos just really messed him up. And maybe that's the part of the trailer where he's holding his hand. A lot of people think it might be somebody who's dead, but I honestly think it's just his hand, and he's like, look at what we've been through and look what's happening. He's just kind of like breaking down and holding his hand, which it might be hurt. So yeah, one thing I don't want to see is I don't want to see Black Panther overrun this movie. And the reason I say that is he's Black Panther. His movie was huge. And he's probably cinematically the biggest superhero there is right now. And I don't want them to, have him in just Wakanda, the movie. I don't want that to be the central, this is what's going on. Just because I feel like there's so many characters and there's so many things you can do with this movie that it doesn't need to focus on that. There need to be parts of it. Because obviously I think we can all agree the best part of the movie is going to be that part in the trailer where they're all in Wakanda and it's all the Wakanda soldiers and the Avengers and they're all about to fight. And I think we all know that's going to be the best part of the movie. So I think you need that, but other than that, let's not really focus on Wakanda, because I don't want that to be the mainstay for the rest of the movie. I want to see Doctor Strange play a more serious role, because he's Doctor Strange. I think he's going to be, I think they need to make him the most valuable guy they have, just because of all the power he has and all this stuff, the mind, he's insane. I think he needs to be their main guy. So yeah, that is my take on Infinity War. I am seeing this Saturday, I believe. I'm seeing this Saturday. I will have a podcast up, hopefully, by that Monday, maybe Tuesday at the latest, and we will have our guest, which is a friend of mine, and we will be talking about it, so it won't be just me. So now that is done, let's talk about Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. For those of you that don't know, this was an animated movie that came out, a weekish ago, I want to say, a week or two. And even though it wasn't a direct sequel, it was basically a sequel to Batman Stolen Arkham. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good overall. I thought there were some parts of the plot that was just kind of, I'm not going to get into spoilers for those of you that haven't seen it. I thought it was good. I thought there was this isn't really a spoiler, but it's, because it doesn't really have that big of a deal to do with the plot. But there's a part where they have to do something to find somebody, and he's a male stripper. So they go to the strip club, and, they focus too much on him stripping, and it's, nothing, he doesn't get naked or anything. but it's just like gross. Like, I don't want to see a man pelvic thrusting for 30 seconds. It's just kind of like stuff like that. And it was just kind of like, that was unnecessary. I don't know who decided that was going to be in the movie, but okay. But yeah, other than that, and there's a certain part of the movie that happens, and some of you will be able to tell, where something happens, the big bad guy, they meet the big bad guy for the first time, and he does something, and once he does it, when you look in a character's face and you see their expression, you can predict what's going to happen. And, or at least I would be like, oh, that person's going to do that. And I already knew it was going to happen. And it was very frustrating as it played out. Because I was like, yep, called that in the first 30 minutes. But, you know, it is what it is. My favorite part of the movie, personally, was Reverse Flash. Reverse Flash being in it isn't a spoiler. You know, he's on the cast. It's, you know, that's just the way. No spoiler. I'm not going to get into what he does and why he's in it, but the stuff that he does and his motivation and his just the things he does, that was the coolest I have seen him. And Flashpoint was really good, and everybody's like, oh dude, Flashpoint, and he was awesome. But to see the way that he is handling things in this movie is really cool. I really like Deadshot. I thought he was good. I wasn't digging his voice. I kind of felt like it was, I don't want to say younger, just it didn't sound like Deadshot. Like when I would hear that guy's voice, if I heard that guy on the street, I wouldn't be like, oh, you would be a good voice of Deadshot. Harley has ultimately nothing to do in this movie. Like, she's Harley Quinn and she's part of the Suicide Squad, so she has to be there. But other than that, she has nothing to do with the movie. She doesn't do anything really. She's just kind of there to be Harley Quinn, which isn't really an issue. It's just kind of the way it is. Killer Frost plays a pretty cool part in it, which plays out towards the end. Copperhead is just kind of there. He also does something at the end, which is kind of cool, but he doesn't really do anything other than that. But my second favorite next to Reverse Flash was Bronze Tiger. I think, honestly, the best part of this movie, other than Reverse Flash, just personally, my favorite part was definitely Reverse Flash. But I think that they did best was Bronze Tiger, because they did him to a way to where that made me want to see a standalone Bronze Tiger movie and to see his backstory, because his character motivation, just his badassness is just so cool, man. Like, he's just really going for it and what he's doing, and he's really like focused. And I just really liked him as a character. I thought they did him perfectly. Like, that was a really good job. I thought it was really well. As a plot overall, out of 10, I would give it a 6.5. Only because there are very predictable parts, and that kind of ruined it for me to a degree. But definitely worth a buy. If you collect the movies, it's worth a buy. If you don't, just rent it. It's no Under the Red Hood, but it is good. It's good to something pop in, watch. This is definitely something I'll watch. 3-4 more times. I really did enjoy it. Next, we are going to talk about some of the DC upcoming movies and what my thoughts are on those. So the next big movie coming up for DC is Aquaman. I think we all can agree, regardless of what your thoughts are on DC, Aquaman's going to be good. It's James Wan, and the big thing with this DC thing has always been, Warner Brothers, they've done this, and this, and they've cut and all this stuff and just ruined these movies. James Wan, before even filming, said, hey, listen, we're doing this my way. If we're not, I'm leaving. And they said, all right, we can do it your way. So James Wan is a fantastic director, and he's doing this the way he wants to do it, which I think is going to result very well. Excuse me. And I think Jason Momoa is a perfect Aquaman. I really like him. I'm really looking forward to seeing Atlantis and William Dafoe's character especially, and what he plays a role as. We know that Black Manta and Ocean Master will be in it. Excuse me. And Black Manta is not the main villain, is Ocean Master. I think it's kind of going to be a Throne of Atlantis storyline, just without the Justice League. If I'm taking my guess, I think that's kind of what it's going to be like. I want to see Aquaman and how he takes... I want to see him as a character, as how he goes from knowing his mother dropped him on his father's doorstep, just left him there, and then he finds out he's half human, half, Atlantean. I want to see how he deals with that. Really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to Black Manta. Black Manta is one of my favorite villains. I cannot wait for that. And yeah, we haven't really gotten a trailer for that yet, so there's not much else to say. But yeah, I'm just really excited for that. I think Shazam's going to be good. At this point, we've only gotten pictures for Shazam. I think his suit I think it's supposed to be a little bit cartoony, because, he's gotten made for a suit. I think it's supposed to be a little bit cartoony. I think that's kind of what Shazam is. I think this is going to be a pretty easy movie for them to do. I think it's going to be pretty hard to mess it up, but this is Warner Brothers, so you can never really speak too soon on that. But I think this will be a better movie. I do. I think this will be pretty decent. I'm really looking forward to it. I think Zachary Levi's going to knock it out of the park. I think he's going to do really well with Shazam, regardless of how the movie does. There's rumors that Henry Cavill is going to reprise his role as Superman in this movie, which would be kind of cool to see. Don't really know how that would play out. And I do not think The Rock is going to be Black Adam in this yet. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's timed right. I don't think it's going to happen. That's just my take. And lastly, for today, we are going to be talking about Venom. We know we're getting a trailer this coming up week, which is very exciting because the last trailer was very disappointing. Very disappointing. I'm hoping that the rumors aren't true, that Venom is only in it towards the end, and it's like the last 15 minutes, because that's just going to be very sad. Venom is one of my top 5 Marvel villains. I absolutely love Venom. So I'm really hoping they do this well. I really am. I think Tom Hardy, currently in Hollywood, is my favorite actor. So I'll probably like it to a degree just because I love Tom Hardy so much. But I think he's going to knock it out of the park just as Eddie Brock, just as a character. I think he's going to do really well. I hope they get the viciousness down of Venom, because I feel like Topher Grace's portrayal in Spider-Man 3 didn't. Like, he was this big bad guy, and we knew he was, but there wasn't really this ever just kind of like he's Venom, like just vicious, just like we didn't really see that. Which I think they're going to be able to do well, and I think Tom Hardy's going to do well. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is going to be rated R. I might be wrong on that, but I think it is. And so they're probably going to really try and push that, which I think is the smart thing to do, and I hope they do. Really excited for the trailer. My thoughts on Woody Harrelson as Carnage. It's Woody Harrelson. He's a fantastic actor. He's done everything from White Men Can't Jump to The Hunger Games. I think he's going to do... I want to say he'll do well just because of how, seasoned he is as an actor, but who really knows, man. Hoping that it works out well if he's in it. I don't think Tom Holland's going to be in it, because as far as I know, MCU, Marvel, all of them, they have not acquired the rights yet, and so I highly doubt that they're going to, tell Tom, yeah, sure, go be in the Venom movie. So I doubt that. I think that might be just a rumor, but of course, if he's in it, that would be pretty cool to see Spider-Man and Venom together, but yeah, so I guess we will all see. So yeah, guys, sorry, this is a shorter episode. I'm running low on time today. But the next one, we will be reviewing Infinity War and any other news that is coming up. And I'll have a guest with me, so they will be longer. I hope y'all enjoyed the first episode. There will be many, many, many more to come. And remember, guys, this is Comics Family. Spread the word. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Grow the following. Remember, you can follow us at Comics Family on Instagram. And please subscribe. Thanks, guys.